Hello students, this is my fourth lecture and we have studied what is trigonometric function in detail in previous three lectures. Okay, so today we will learn how to solve the sum. To learn how to solve the sum, there are some basic concepts. See here, sine inverse of sine x. Sine inverse of sine x is sine x when x belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. This minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is the range of sine inverse function. Okay, but how can it possible? See here, sine inverse of sine x is x. Okay, how can it be possible? So see here, f inverse of f is equal to f inverse of f is equal to I. This is the composition of two functions. If one function is inverse and the other function is the function, then composition of such two functions is identity function. And identity function gives us the same value. See here, I of x is equal to x. Understood? So when we write f inverse of fx is equal to f of f inverse x, both the values are same, is equal to I of x, because f inverse of f inverse, f of f inverse or f inverse of f gives us I. So I of x and I of x gives us x. Similarly here, sine inverse of sine x, that is I of x, and I of x is equal to x. Identity function. Identity function is a function which gives us the same output. Input and output are same. That means identity function should not change the identity of the input value. Understood? So see here, this is identity function. Similarly here, see here, sine inverse of sine x is equal to x. So sine inverse of sine x is x. Similarly, cos inverse of cos x is x, but there is some condition, and condition is that x should be in closed interval minus 0 to pi, 0 to pi, 0 to pi. This is the range of cos inverse. Similarly, here is x, when x should be in open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, that is the range of tan inverse. Similarly, this is x, and this will be in open interval 0 to pi, and this is x when x belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0, the range of cos inverse. Similarly here, this is x when this belongs to 0 to pi minus pi by 2. And how it works? Let's see how it works. If sine inverse of sine pi by 6 is given, then answer will be pi by 6. Why? Because pi by 6 belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. But in this case, if sine inverse of sine phi pi by 6 is given here, then we cannot write phi pi by 6, because phi pi by 6 does not lie into this interval. Understood? To solve this sum, we have to convert phi pi by 6 into some other angle which belongs to this interval. So, see here, what happens here? We have to convert this sine phi pi by 6 into pi minus pi by 6. How can we convert this phi pi by 6 into pi by 6? Because the simplification of this is this, but how can we convert it? Let's see here. Phi pi by 6 is here. So we have to write nearest multiple of 6 to 5, that is 6 pi. 6 pi is nearest multiple to 5 pi. And then to obtain 5 pi, we have to subtract pi upon 6. Then separate the number 6 pi upon 6 minus pi upon 6. This will be cancelled, so pi minus pi by 6 is there. Thus, we can convert phi pi by 6 into pi minus pi by 6. Now, pi minus pi by 6 determines second quadrant. See here, 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, this is 2 pi, this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. In first quadrant, all functions are positive. So all S, T, C, all functions are positive. In second quadrant, sign is positive. Now this is pi, and pi minus theta lies in the second quadrant. So see here, pi minus theta, and this lies in the second quadrant. In second quadrant, sign is positive. So sine inverse of sine pi by 6, and it is clear that pi by 6 lies into this interval. So answer will be pi by 6. Thus we can find out the value of sine inverse of sine phi pi by 6. Understood? Now we'll learn about some more concepts. Okay, this is the illustration of this. Okay, how can we obtain this? The same method we can apply into this all inverse trigonometric function. Now I will show you some further detail. See here, sine inverse of x, sine inverse of minus x. When x is positive, then sine inverse of minus x is negative. Then sine inverse is odd function, so minus sine inverse, we can write minus sine inverse of x. Okay, because negative values lies into the range of sine inverse function, it relates with this interval. See here, if this value is negative, then minus sine, put minus sine outside of this, that is sine inverse x. This becomes sine inverse of x because minus value present in the interval, this interval. Now see here, cos inverse of x, minus x. Cos inverse of minus x, the negative values are not present into this interval. So we have to convert this value into positive value. So we have to write pi minus cos inverse x. Similarly, tan inverse, then what is the value of tan inverse x? So what is the value of sec inverse x? What is the value of cosec inverse x? That is minus x. And what is the value of cot inverse x? Minus x. See here, tan inverse of minus x. The range of tan inverse is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and negative value are present here, so we can write minus tan inverse x. But sec inverse, see here, where is sec inverse? The range of sec inverse is 0 to pi x at pi by 2, then into this interval all values are positive, so we can write pi minus sec inverse x. Similarly here, this is minus cosec inverse x because negative values are there into the range of this cosec inverse, and cot inverse, similarly pi minus cot inverse of x. So we have to remember all these basic concepts, okay, when negative values are here. So I will give you some example of this. See here, first example. Examples, we can write examples. See here, sine inverse of minus 1/2. So sine inverse of minus 1/2, this is negative, so we can write sine minus sine inverse of half. Now minus sine inverse of half, for what value is sine gives us half? That is sine pi by 6. So we have to remember the values of all functions. Sine, what is the value of sine pi by 6, sine pi by 3? Okay. So minus sine inverse of sine pi by 6. Consider this. sine inverse of sine is once again pi by 6 according to this, which gives us x. So here is pi by 6 lies into this interval, so we can write this. So answer is minus pi by 6. Okay, this is our first question, so we have to write all this procedure. After that we can write directly this. If you understood this very well, then you can write directly minus pi by 6. Understood? Now see here, my second question is here. If sine inverse is half, only half is given, then what happens? Then we can write simply sine inverse of sine pi by 6 and answer is pi by 6. There is no confusion. We can write directly. The third question is cos inverse of minus 1/2. Cos inverse of minus 1/2. So what happened? Here is negative value. Once again negative value of cos inverse. Then what happened? Cos inverse of negative value. Then pi minus cos inverse is there. So pi minus cos inverse of half, and then pi minus cos inverse, then value of which value gives us pi by 6 half, that is cos of pi by 3. Cos of pi by 3 gives us half. So here is pi minus, that is pi by 3. So answer is 2 pi by 3. Okay, so thus we can compute this value. So one more example is that tan inverse minus 1. So what happened in this case? For tan it is negative. Tan inverse of minus x gives us minus tan inverse x. So minus tan inverse 1. So minus tan inverse 10 pi by 4. Value of 10 pi by 4 is 1. So answer is minus pi by 4. Similarly, sec inverse of minus 2. Sec inverse of minus root 2. Okay, we'll take minus root 2. So sec inverse of minus x is pi minus sec inverse x. So pi minus sec inverse of root 2. So what happened? Pi minus sec inverse of sec pi by 4, and this will be removed. This will be identity function. So pi minus pi by 4 is here. So this is the simplification of this is 3 pi by 4. Students, it is too easy. The whole chapter based on formula. If you learn this, okay, you have to remember this, because without remembering this you cannot solve all this. Understood? And it is too easy. Okay, when you solve more twisted question, then these are the simplest question for you. Understood? So please learn this. Remember all the range of the inverse trigonometric function. Okay, and how solve this type of question which is not belongs to this. Okay, we have to convert. By converting the angle belongs to this, we can obtain the answer of such equation. Okay, and some little information about the unit circle. Okay,